Coming up on Mobile Learning in the Classroom, research and citation apps.
Hi, my name is Trainin.
And I'm Zoe Falls.
And this is Mobile Learning in the Classroom, and today we're talking about research and citations, and this is an area where digital resources can really help connect, collect, and really preserve everything that you read and use while you're doing research. So I want to share two things that I find useful. One is Citation Machine, and Citation Machine has ads, so that's the one thing. If you're working especially in a K-12 environment, know that there are ads on this. You can pay and then get it for free, so that's great, and you may want to do that. And there is a school version that probably comes with a license, and then you don't see the ads, but you just choose your style. So let me just do this a little bit bigger, and I choose my style. I usually write in APA, so I'll choose. And now you can find a book or a magazine, newspaper, website, journal, film even, or something else that you want to define, and then you can search it, which is fantastic. So if we look for a book by title, for example, The Manufactured Crisis, one of my favorite books. So you do a search, and now it gives you the options, things that come up with that. And now you can select the ones you meant, in this case this one, and it gives you everything about it, and now you can create a citation. So the easy thing is, if you don't want to make any changes, if I don't want to select a specific chapter or a page, this is it. Here it is. I can copy and paste it. I can so it's just, you click here, copy and paste, and put it inside your document. It's that easy. And what I love about it is, and I think Zotero does the same thing to a degree, and that is you can do a search inside that. So you don't have to go somewhere else, do the search, bring it in. If you have a fraction of the name or the full name or the author, you can bring it in. Here it is. And it seems to work really, really fast. Again, it sits in your browser, which means any device can use it. And I've tried it on my iPad, I've tried it on my computer, on a Chromebook. It works on all of them, so it's a fantastic thing. The other thing that I like about it is that at this version, you don't need to have a login. So at least at K-12, where we worry about login and having too many and remembering passwords and all that, you don't need all that. You can create one if you want to start saving them and all of that, but if you just want to do a search and a copy and paste, that's a simple and easy one. The second one, and I mentioned this mostly because a lot of schools are using Chrome and Google Drive and all of that, and that is that you can actually bring the research into your Google Doc just by going to Tools and clicking on Research. It turns that research on, and then you can search for something like, I don't know, and it automatically tries to find words in your text that you may be interested in. And now you can do a few things, and that is, one is you can insert link, and the other one is you can cite. So a citation would add it at the end or at the bottom of a page, and inserting link would obviously happen inside the text. So it's a very quick and easy, and if you've got students already working in Google Drive, already working in Docs, this is really easy. And the beauty of it, again, is you don't need an extra login. It does get saved, and you're working inside your document, so you're not running somewhere else, searching, copying and pasting and all of that. So there's something very sleek about having it all integrated. Obviously, it's a Google search, although you can do search of other things, including Google Scholar, which is really useful.
Love Google Scholar.
Yes, and images and other things. So if you want to search other things, you can do that also under that research tab.
So when it says personal results, is it searching your Google
documents?
Drive?
Yes.
Okay, so you can link to files you've already created.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. But it can also, you see, there are web results that you can go to. You can insert that and then cite those. So you can cite things you already have and cite things that are out there, for example. You can see this one as a footnote, or you're inserting the actual citation. So that's inside Google Drive, and that's really, really useful. And you wanted to talk about two more?
Yes, so Mendeley is another app that's similar to Zotero. And Mendeley does actually have a mobile app that I like the best is its PDF viewer. And the way that you can look at the PDFs that you've stored in your citation and share those. It doesn't have some of the same features as Zotero, such as the built-in way to automatically save things by just clicking a button. So it's not, for me, quite as seamless, and it takes a little bit more time to use. But again, it depends on what your focus for using it is. So if you really need something where all of your sources are there and you can edit the PDFs and highlight and change notes and things like that, Mendeley might be a better option. And their mobile version, the viewer for the PDF, is also really nice and very dynamic. So my library Mendeley is much shorter or much smaller because I don't use it as much, but you can do the same thing. You can have a group, you can share sources, and I have a friend that uses it, so this is how we share information, because she prefers Mendeley to Zotero. And so you can, again, the same thing, you can share things with other people, you can edit the PDFs, it'll save it. So if you're, you're trying to figure out how to formulate something and you want to highlight a certain source, a certain sentence in a source to a colleague, Mendeley, again, might serve you a little better than Zotero. But it does the same thing. You can add a document, add a folder, manual entry.
Okay, so similar, not as seamless in that when you're working on your own, has the advantage of being able to cite specific sentences and work with PDFs a little bit more agilely.
Exactly, and I do know grad students that use both.
Oh wow!
And they will talk to each other, so you can it's not a full sync, but Mendeley and Zotero will talk to each other.
Okay. It's getting a little bit complicated for me. I really like one place where I go to and everything's there, and if it's more than that, it becomes. And I think for students who are learning how to do this, it'll be much more useful to have one place where they go and they enter everything, and then if they have further needs, maybe go to a second one that complements it. But at the graduate student level, obviously that would work. But if you're in, 11th grade and doing a social studies paper,
no, and I think Zotero is a much easier gateway citation manager, especially to get those skills while they are still in high school, to make it a little easier when they get to college. Play around with them, figure out which one they like.
All right. And last, we're looking at Cite This For Me.
So Cite This For Me is very similar to Citation Machine in that you can type in something, and so if I'm looking for educational technology, again, it'll pull up search results of educational technology. And the app version, you can actually, so if you have books, you can scan the barcode and it'll populate. And that always makes me really happy because it saves me so much time of even having to remember what it is or where I found it or what the name of it was. I can just scan the book and have it in there and be good to go.
Which is very elegant.
And the mobile app, you can do the same thing. So you can type in what you know of it and do a search. And same thing that we've seen with all of the others. You can copy the citation, you can copy an in-text citation. And I think what I like best about the copy-paste is you don't have to worry about if the plugin is working, if it's broken, if you have the right version of the right program, because copy-paste pretty much works everywhere. So those are the features that I like about Cite This For Me.
All right, so today we talked about quite a few options to do research and citations, and we'll see you next time on Mobile Learning in the Classroom.